This is Dan, your Pajama PM trusted man. Is the current education system good enough, or should we try to improve it? If yes, how? You are going to hate me, but I will say it anyway. Yes! The current education system is meant to be this way. In fact, I believe that we should even go back to the 70s and 80s methods in some areas. Please hear me out before you throw the first stone. You will not hear this from any of the politicians today for fear of losing their reputation the following day. A while back, I was making a video about how much technology has advanced in the last century and how much worse the education system has become through lack of advancement. I since changed my mind, and this is because we now have live examples and a better understanding of how our world works based on different education systems around the world. If you look up the South Korean education system, where they thought that by allowing their children to study until 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning almost every day, they would increase their population's intellect, economy, and happiness levels. Now imagine studying like crazy all your childhood and missing most of it, in hope of obtaining a nice and comfortable job for the rest of your life, only to realize that all the other children are at similar levels, and now the few management jobs available are impossible to compete for. Unfortunately, that country has one of the highest suicide rates among their young population due to this fact, but in recent years they've addressed it by introducing new laws to rectify it a bit. Imagine a world where all the students would finish with similar degrees and only small differences in their grades. Imagine a world where the competition was so fierce, people would feel worthless despite finishing first in their school. Imagine a world where everybody was an engineer or a doctor. Who would do the more physical demanding jobs since the robots are not here yet? The current education system in the West is at the opposite pole. It's too easy and too permissive for its students. Homework is a myth, and reading optional. Before, the teachers could be allowed to be a bit rougher with a child for their own benefit, motivating them to push themselves harder or at least maintain a decent academic level. Today, the tables have turned, and not for the best, it looks like. I remember it like it was yesterday, how some of my teachers were pushing me to not fall too far behind, and I know that that made me tougher, not weaker. I even got smacked, and if at the time it was hard, later it made sense, and I would even thank my teacher today. Sometimes even the mockery from my own friends and school colleagues would help strengthen my character and shape and prepare me for the tough future ahead. Life is not always fair or kind. Today we call it bullying, and we treat it like the poor baby is made of sticks and paper, and we are treating the teacher like they scarred them for life with one word that the child found unacceptable. Are we really helping our children in this way? I did mention its side effects in one of my previous videos. Do you now see my logic of why I believe our education system has to be kept this way, and even moved back in time a bit? At least for now. There is not one single child in the world who proved having exceptional skills or aptitudes in one or more areas that was not helped by their teachers to take full advantage of it. Take it from someone who has done his latest degree in the UK in my 40s. I was not pleased with their education methods at all, but then, as I just mentioned earlier on, for the most diligent and gifted students could be totally a different experience. For a non-native student, I've done well, but I could have done much better. This is why I still see it okay. It gave me an option which I didn't take advantage of. Is on me and any other student to see it good enough for their ambitions or just complain about it. Is it perfect? Absolutely not. Could it be improved with some essential information updated to the current times? Absolutely. For example, new materials in social education and the value of friendship for life. How to accept one another, when to give in and when to ask for help. Micro-financial education for a more stable life, and what is a proper nutrition for our bodies. Now that you see my point, would you change the entire education system knowing what happened in South Korea? Personally, I have some of the most amazing projects for children and young people, which can help them learn how important it is to participate in community projects, helping them use their creativity, born skills, and even achieve happiness. My intention is to dedicate the rest of my life to leave something truly positive behind for all the future generations when AI will take over most of their skills and jobs. Love you all.